Hey, this is Sasha, and welcome to another episode on Backstage Income, where I share with you how to build and grow your business behind the scenes. So today I want to share with you an insight of when should you go full-time on YouTube and quit your job. So this may sound like a very serious blog post, and it is. It's very serious because if you're looking to leave your job, you're leaving stability into going into the world of YouTube. So I want to share with you a couple of big things to think about before doing this. So overall, here's a quick little picture for you so that you can think about it. Okay, so I want you to really realize and recognize what's going on is that right now, when you have money coming in, and here is your time, right, as we move through time and moving forward, and here is your money. Right now, you have something very stable. Okay, so let's say this is your job and you're making money and it's kind of growing with time, right? So this is your kind of job. When you start YouTube, you're going to be starting kind of at the bottom, at ground zero. Nobody's going to give you something because you have experience at this job. You're going to be starting at the bottom. So you might not be making money for a little bit of time. Now with that time, things will slowly start to scale and grow. And eventually you might get to this barrier or crossing point where actually it accelerates and surpasses your job, depending on how much money you're making at your job right now. But maybe it'll surpass there and they may start to level out there as well. So anyways, start looking at this curve and see what your curve might be. You know, with YouTube, for some people, that curve might just kind of go like this with YouTube. And that just depends on your knowledge and understanding. But if you were to quit your job, what point do you have enough savings to be able to make that transition and shift to make up the difference in your income? So are you going to do it a little bit before, maybe right at this point, or will you do it when you actually make more money than your job? Again, you could do it at that point. Now, if you're working, let's just say a $8 an hour job, it may not be that difficult. Whereas, hey, if you're doing a job where you're making, $80 an hour, it might be more difficult to leave that job and do YouTube more full time. So think about this curve as where is your crossing point, because that's really what's going to make that breaking point say, hey, okay, this is really the time. For some people, they do it a little bit earlier. Other people do it when they've already surpassed that point. And for some people, remember, their YouTube curve may not even reach that point because they don't understand the bigger picture. Which brings me to my next point. So if we go way over here and look at the bigger picture concept, so let's look at this bigger picture concept of doing YouTube full time. Right now, you have a job and you're stable, okay? You have money coming in. But the bigger picture when you're doing YouTube full time is money is not just coming in from YouTube. You're really creating an online business, okay? So that's really what you're doing is you're creating an online business. And that online business has multiple components, right? YouTube might be one component there, okay? You might have another component where you have blogs, okay, or blogging that you're working on, because from that blog, now you build kind of an audience or a customer list, okay? From that customer list, you sell your product and someone else's product to make money, right? Because where's your revenue coming from? That's really what you need to determine in your online business, because that's what YouTube is all about. It's an online business. It's part of that online business. So when you have the blogging, the list, you sell your own product. From that list, you also might sell affiliates, where you have affiliate products that you're selling, okay? From here, you might have paid sponsorships, such as if you're doing, let's just say, a podcast, you might get paid sponsorships, right? So you're actually incorporating and starting to do more things beyond just YouTube. You might do podcasts, take that YouTube, convert it, YouTube video, convert it to a podcast, take that YouTube video, convert it to a blog. You're building your customer list, you're selling your products, you're doing affiliate marketing, you're getting paid sponsorships. You're now starting to see the bigger picture. And with this now starts to create more headaches because you have to also do accounting and manage that, or manage payrolls. You have to do paperwork. So whether you do like a LLC, you have to set up kind of a company behind it. So there's much more involvement there rather than going to a job and just collecting your paycheck, your pay stub, and everything else is taken care of. Again, you have to think of health benefits and those kinds of things. So there's a lot of components once you start making the transition. If you only look at the revenue side of it, right? where's your breaking point? For some people, it's going to be right below where they make the income of their job because, hey, I can't stand my job. I hate my job. I don't want to be there. It's an abusive workplace. Then by all means, leaving sooner might be better than later. So if you're looking at just the money side of it, well, when you're getting close, well, in an abusive situation, it's time to go, right? You just get out of that place. But you got the bigger picture concept you got to think about as you start transitioning to building an online business, which is the YouTube business, right? So you might start with YouTube and everything else moves into the next phase, right? So if I start with kind of YouTube, it's just a component. I might do a podcast from that YouTube, okay? Take the video, convert it to a podcast. I might get paid sponsorships. Well, how do I do paid sponsorships for a YouTube video? How do I turn that YouTube video into a blog? How do I start my own, website here? So you got to start thinking about these components that are going to start create this online business. And I would say, not just only on the revenue side is what you got to watch, but you got to say, okay, well, am I able to do a podcast? How does that work? Let me figure that out before I do it. So even if you have revenue coming in, figure out, okay, how do I do a podcast? Okay, now I know how to do that. How do I write an ebook? Okay, if you're in a digital space, okay, let me figure that out. Okay, I know how to write an ebook now. I see the components. Okay, now I have it. How do I do the blog? Okay, I got it. How do I do affiliate marketing? Okay, I have it. So once you have many of these components kind of in place, then it might be time because you have the skills, you have the knowledge, and you have the experience. Now, you might not be super successful with writing ebooks, but you might know how to do podcasting really well, right? So you might know basic concepts of ebooks and you'll get better at it, but you might be better at the podcasting thing. You might know affiliate marketing really well, but you might not know how to develop and create your own products yet, but you might get there, right? So with time, all these things will continue to grow. And that's the thing with why this growth accelerates very quickly, because now you're building these components out to be able to then leverage your time of your products and sell more of them to be able to surpass your job income, depending on where you are with your job, of course. So I hope this makes sense to looking at the bigger picture rather than just the income side. So this is kind of our income chart. And if you want a basic decision, well, here's your kind of, breaking point. And you're looking at that. But if you're looking at the bigger picture, remember that it's going to take many of these components to figure out and understand these components to make that switch. So you need to have a few, and where you're comfortable with what's a few for you is going to be different for somebody else. So for some people, it'll just be, hey, I got two things. I'm dominating in the podcast space. I'm dominating in YouTube. I got my own blog and affiliates. I'm good. I don't need to make my own products. For other people, it might be, you might need a combination of all these things. So it really just comes down to you personally, how motivated you are, how well educated you are, the skill sets, luck of the draw, the niche, all those things work together. Thanks for joining me in this week's video. I hope you found it helpful and insightful to looking at the breaking point of when you should make the switch from your job to going YouTube full-time or building your own business full-time. And if you did and you want to see other great training videos like this one, go ahead, get on our newsletter list by clicking the button right over here or in the description. When you get there, enter your name and email address, and I'll send you the newsletters as new videos are released, along with some free training periodically. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.